Are y'all ready for our speaker extraordinaire, our master MC with a big personality? This is going to be good. Money talks, but wealth whispers. The problem is we weren't taught to talk about money or to hear the whispers of wealth. Today, Richard Hardon will break down the language of money so that we will all walk away knowing it's as easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. Putting the fun back in financial fundamentals, help me welcome Richard Hardon.
Stay up. I know y'all been sitting down for a minute. Is it on? Am I on? 1, 2, am I on? Good.
3. I said 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I said 1, 2, 3.
Your turn. Oh, never mind. If you know me and spend time with me, eventually I will teach you a dance. But we'll save the triple ABC. That's the name of that dance. We'll save that for next time because I was brought here to have a quick money conversation with you. Is it okay if we talk money? I mean, is it okay? Oh, I know what their hesitancy was. Wait, whose money? What we gonna say about the money? We're gonna talk about your money, and I'm gonna ask you if you've ever asked yourself the same questions that I asked myself. Where'd my money go? How can I get it back? And how can I get it to do more for me when it gets back to me? Anybody ever asked those questions? Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me because I thought I did everything they said to do. Going to school, they said get good grades, go to college, get a good job with benefits, and live happily ever after. How many of you were told that? How many of you went out and tried to do that? How many of you found that's not it? I'm talking about I got the best grades. I didn't get anything below 93 from 8th grade to my senior year. Wait, y'all clap for that. I'm trying to tell you that's inner city public school in the South, and when you make those grades, they call you things that are not your name. Nerd, geek, bookworm, heard all of those things, but went off to Duke University, double majored, electrical engineering, computer science, and when I graduated, I figured I ain't know anything that I needed to know for what I wanted, because I wanted to be wealthy. Who in here wanted to be wealthy? Now, if you ain't put your hands up, don't tell me what you wanted. But I used to imagine going through my grandmama Jacqueline Rick's house. She had the glass doorknobs, and when I would turn the knob, I'd imagine I was turning diamonds to get into the next room. But I found out there were things that I didn't learn at Douglas High School or at Duke University that 75% of the people in the world don't know. Most people know how to read, but according to statistics, 75% of people are somewhat financially illiterate. Can you relate? So I'm going to break it down and make it simple. Just like the dance I taught, it's not hard if you know how to break it down. Can we break it down? So I'm going to talk about ABC 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start off just letting you know what the problem is. If you ever found yourself working from check to check, say, uh-huh. If you ever found yourself in that curious position where you couldn't even make it through 2 checks, it's check behind the check, say, raise your eyebrows and nod intensely, but don't put your hand up. I thought it was me, but there's actually a cycle of 4 things that are our biggest roadblocks between us and our financial freedom. Now, I'm going to run them down to you, and I want you to see how they work in a sinister system together to keep the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. So you can breathe easy for a minute and say, at least it's not my fault. I thought I was stupid. Anybody just look at your money and be like, this just don't make sense. Taxes, debt, inflation, and big business. How's it go? If you work in America, you're going to be taxed, yes? Taxes, I call taxes the chainsaw massacre because it cut the head off of every paycheck I ever got. I was like, I remember that first job at the YMCA where I was like, who is FICA? And why do they get paid? 33% of our income goes to taxes. And for most people, that's why we're in debt. Meaning, now you don't have the $400,000 to buy the house, Miss Cleveland? Don't worry. Get a mortgage. You don't have the $50,000 to get the new car, Ms. Lyon Miller? Don't worry. Get a note. See, they call it a note like your mama used to give you, make it sound like it's not debt. You got students, they need loans. You got credit, they need cards. That's the third of our income goes to debt. So even if you were on a great salary, $100,000, you walking around with $33,000 trying to see how you're going to make it. And you think they leave us alone. But no, big business hits you twice. Combination of marketing on a cash flow calendar. Every 30 days, they extract the last dollar we had. What month is it? February. Fellas, quick finance lesson. No romance without finance. Get that woman something. But second, but understand, every 30 days, there's a reason to get somebody something. Because after February and March, we're going to hit spring break. And then in April, it's going to be Easter. In May, there'll be Mother's Day. June, don't forget to get Daddy some socks and a tie that he can't wear to nothing. And then in July, you got 4th of July. August is back to school. September's Labor Day. October's Halloween. November has Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and now Brown Thursday. People ain't even staying home to finish dinner. Then in December, there's Christmas. Then January, there's New Year's. And we right back around, buy that woman something. I say all this to say, I'm not negative. I just understand how things work because inflation, especially in these last couple of years, the value of our dollar's been going down and the price of goods and services have been going up. See, I started driving in Atlanta in the late 1900s. You could get gas at Riverdale Road for $79.9. So when I went in with a 20, I could expect change. I could say, fill it up and come back and have money left. Yes? But now if you put a 20 in your tank of gas, what do you need to know? The location of the next gas station. See, the dollars are going fast and the gas is going slow. And I paint that picture not because I'm a doom and gloom person. I just understand if you understand what's against you, you can build a defensive strategy to go on the offensive. And that's what goes in my ABCs of finance. Everybody got the 1, 2, 3, 4? I know it's supposed to be as simple as ABC, 1, 2, 3, but it's 4. But next, as we work through the alphabet, here's what I firmly believe. That the words that we speak influence the thoughts that we think, which influence the actions that we take and the results that we get. And if we're ever going to get a different result, we first got to change our words. And what I found is if I work through the alphabet, one letter at a time, thinking about what things I need to think to get myself to take better actions, I'll get different results. Take letter A, for example. What do you think the first thing when it comes to wealth is with letter A? Abundance. That's it. Well, it's actually the attitude of abundance. Like attitude's my magic word for everything. How many of you know I got a little bit of attitude? But if you add up your attitude about anything, it's how you get everything that there is in your life because attitude is 100. You add it up, A being 1, B being 2, C being 3, T being 20. I cheated, so you don't have to do this yourself. Add that up. Attitude equals 100. It's 100% of your success or results in anything is your attitude about it. What attitude do I suggest? Abundance. The attitude that there is more than enough for you to get what you want and for you to attain the ability to acquire assets. Assets, what do you mean, Richard? Assets, I keep it simple. Assets are things that you buy that put money in your pocket. How many of you ever bought something that took money directly out of your pocket? But at the same time, if we find those categories of asset investments, and there are 4 categories, I won't have time to go into all of them, but fix our minds on affirming our ability to acquire assets before we go to letter B, it's belief. We got to get rid of some of those beliefs that keep us broke. What am I talking about? So I'm from the South, so it's commonly misquoted that money is the root of all evil. How many of you know that's not even what it says? How you gonna quote something wrong and believe it? It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. We're not supposed to love money, but we're not supposed to hate it so much that we don't let it do work for us, are we? Got to have the belief that we were built to do more than go to work, pay bills, and die. How do we do that, Richard? Well, we start putting ourselves in positions where we can build our own businesses and be our own banks so that we're no longer the borrower, but the lender. And that takes me to C, ABC, consistency. Consistency is the key to the breakthrough. It's never what you do occasionally, but what you do consistently that creates anything good or anything bad that's in your life. And if you can just consistently be consistent in creating cash flow. Cash flow is the last thing I have time to even teach about today because I was not taught cash flow growing up. I was taught make more money, make more money, make more money. Who was taught once you get that good job, you got to work hard and get a raise. You got to go into management and make more money. Grandmama's still right. The more you make, the more they take. Cash flow is different than income. So you measure income in dollars. It's an amount. You measure cash flow in time. So if you got $1 million income, would everybody agree $1 million is a sky-high income? But if you have $2 million in bills, just broke on a higher broke level. But say you got a conservative salary of only $80,000, but your bills are $40,000. Your cash flows 8/4 reduces to 2/1. You got twice as much money as you need in any period. So some of the money can support you to eat, and some of the money can support you when you decide that you don't want to work, but you still want to eat. So as I close today's conversation, just understand it's as easy as ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. We got to be in a position where we break down the things that we weren't taught in school, because trust me, for some of us, last time we was in school was in another century. We can't blame that education anymore. We got to take responsibility for continuing our own learning, continuing our own conversation, affirming our ability to acquire assets, build businesses, be our own banks, and consistently create conscious cash flow. If you got questions, man, text me, link up with me on social media, but understand that financial literacy is the key. Because if you weren't born into a wealthy family, you didn't come from a wealthy family should come from you. Thank you.